I love to see people just, glorifying God and pushing past maybe some of the, things that they thought they couldn't do. And it's like, wait a minute, I did that. Like, even how you're saying before, like, oh, I was supposed to run 7 miles and, I only ran 5. Like, no, I ran 5 miles.
See?
And I've got a kid and I've got a husband
take off
and
my
I'm
shoe and throw it
like,
She preaching. Hello, you're watching Moms Can Too, and I am your host, REBA BEENE. Thank you so much for taking the time to either watch or listen to this podcast. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel to receive notifications when new episodes are released. I cannot wait for you all to hear from my next guest. She is a blogger, foodie, and author. She's also a wife and, of course, a mom of 2 adorable little ones. She was one of the key people in my life, getting me back into health and fitness after I had my daughter. I am so excited for you all to hear how this mom has made it a priority to not only take care of her physical health, but prioritize her spiritual health as well. Moms, please help me welcome my friend, Kim Griffin. Hello, Kimberly.
Hi.
Or Kim, how do you?
Kim, it's
Kim is
easier.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Short and sweet.
I was like, I feel like I am saying the wrong thing.
Oh, no.
How are you?
I'm doing really good and really excited.
Thank you
to be here.
so much for coming.
Yes, of
I am
course.
like, I keep smiling because I'm so happy you're here.
Yes, I know. I haven't seen you in a while, but I'm so glad.
I know. When you came in, I'm like, I'm not even giving you instructions. I'm just like, she's here.
I'm like, welcome. Here we go. Let's do it.
So Kim,
Yes.
please tell us a little about yourself.
Okay. Well, first off, I am a follower of Christ. That is like the main thing. I'm a Christian. And then I am also a wife going on 12 years married. And I have 2 daughters, one age 6 and one age 4. So busy life already
Yeah.
there. But when I can get some free time, I really enjoy like thrifting and writing. I have a blog that I write on. And then I also like to just read. I'm a book nerd, so I love reading.
What's your favorite
Genre
of books?
Right now I feel like my favorite genre has been like some of the things like psychology type things.
Oh, indeed.
Or like, I don't know, but it's like, just how people operate, like just how they think and all of that. Like that's been kind of like where I feel like I've been really enjoying lately.
It's interesting you say that. I was literally listening to this Christian businessman this morning.
Yeah.
And his name is Ed Rush. And he was talking about how believers, we actually have to change the way our neurons.
Huh.
Yeah, like he goes. I'm not going to go into it because I'm going to sound like an idiot.
It sounds
but
fascinating.
Yeah, he goes deep into it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm just like enthralled. Like I need to be doing things, but I'm really
you're like I need to be doing some stuff. I need to be changing these neurons. Yes,
but I'm just going to jump right in.
Yes,
because I was just talking to someone the other day, and I said I have to ask her this question.
Yes.
How in the world were you able to mentally break through the mentality? Because so many moms. We deal with this. Like, I had my child.
Yeah.
Before then, I was like, I could do 30 stomach crunches if I had a little punch, But like, how did you break through? My body doesn't look and feel the same.
Yeah.
Physical activity requires so much mental, I believe, even more for moms.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot like going on. How are you able to push past that?
Um, Probably a lot of prayer.
Yes.
No, definitely a lot of prayer. I will say, like, I am just the kind of person where I was really used to my body responding pretty immediately to things that I would do. So it's like, hey, if I eat a certain way or if I exercise a certain way, I expect my body to respond by not being sore and, not getting little hitches here and there. But even sometimes the simplest thing to just sit down, or not sit down, but reach down and grab a kid and pick them up, because they want to be held.
Mm-hmm.
I really did struggle a lot with that. So I feel like when I was at my worst, I was probably, it was maybe a couple months after having my first, and I ended up having diastasis recti, which is the ab separation, which made it even more challenging to move around. I had a weaker core, and I was just dealing with all kinds of just challenges there, but just having patience with myself, that was probably the biggest thing that helped, because I think we forget, hey, you grew a human for 9 months. And my daughters were born in August and October. So I also had to weather the Texas heat, which is a whole other.
Bless her, Lord.
That's a whole other thing.
Yes.
So just having patience with my body, understanding that I kind of had to hold it with more of an open hand and saying okay, it's not going to go back to the way that it was, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. I need to focus on what God is going to just mold it into for the future and what that looks like.
That's good.
Yeah. And also just having some empathy and, just validating my feelings. Yes, it does hurt to feel this way. It does, sometimes it really did get downing, I'm used to, I was the one who was in the gym while I was pregnant, doing bicep curls and working out. And so when I started to go back to the gym after having my kids, I remember looking around at people I used to be able to do that,
right.
and now my core feels like jelly, and I would just get so down on myself.
Yeah.
But, coming to the realization that it's okay, if it's going to take time and it's okay, that it doesn't feel okay right now, and just accepting that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember after when we had Ava,
Mm-hmm.
we moved here, and so there was more space for me to, walk around, run, because I love running.
Yeah.
And I remember when I tried to go back, I signed up for a 5K thinking, I'm going to nail this.
5K. Ooh, can we make it 0.5?
I finished it, but let me say, it was not anything that I, in my brain. I don't know why. I grew a human in my belly, you said.
Absolutely.
But
yeah.
Me thinking, and so afterwards coming back, just okay, I'm finishing that.
Mm-hmm.
Moving forward, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to have to start off walking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because me trying to
go that 5K, that's a lot. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And how soon after?
So we had her in July. So the 5K was in November.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that's real quick. That's quick. I'm at least a year.
Nope. I was just I used to run all the time. This is going to be a piece of cake. Yeah. And I've got a few pounds on me, but
I can still do it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But I like what you said, just accepting it and just realizing it's a process.
Right.
You're not going to be able to, we can get into shape,
right.
but it's not going to be like I said before, when you're in your 20s and you I got a little pudge. I'm going to do 15 stomach crunches.
Yeah.
And then it goes away.
Exactly. Or I can stop eating how I've been eating for a month and my body will be fine, or even a week and then it'll be fine. It does not work the same. And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay that it doesn't work the same. It's not supposed to. And weirdly enough, I feel how I am now, I'm so much more healthy and aware. And I just feel my body's just more in line with who I wanted and how I wanted it to be. So that's a really great thing. And I'm talking about I'm 38? Yeah, I'm 38. And so when I was in my 20s, I feel I would have never guessed that I would have felt better at 38.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy, It's really crazy.
Okay. I've heard that. I've heard that a lot of women, when they get to their 40s, there's this, what is it, 40 is the new 20 or something like that?
I think so. I don't know. I hope so. That'd be great. I'm ready. I'm ready.
But your confidence. So I have to ask you this. And I'm gonna read this scripture because when I was getting everything ready, I was like, this is so Kim. So it's Psalms 139:14. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yeah.
Marvelous
Yes.
are your works that my soul knows very well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's great.
You are so confident. I mean, when I
Sweet.
first met you, I think were you pregnant when I met you? I think yes,
because
we were pregnant at the same time. Okay.
Yeah, we were.
So the confidence you carried, and even postpartum, I was just like, oh my gosh. So I feel like that scripture you've grabbed hold of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you carry yourself with confidence. You know you're wonderfully made. Yeah. Women can be so hard on themselves, and especially moms, especially when it comes to their bodies.
Absolutely.
What would you say to moms who are insecure of themselves, especially when they're trying to get back into shape?
Yeah. I think that's a really great question. And I feel like I've heard that verse before used a lot of times. And sometimes it almost feels like a blanket statement. Like, yeah, I know I'm, fearfully and wonderfully made. And, what does that mean? But what's interesting to me is the subject of that verse is God. He's the one who does the work. He's the one who did all of that. And having that confidence comes from knowing whose I am and who made me. And so I feel like a lot of times we forget that God has given us dignity, value, and worth. That is literally every person who's a human. That's what we have. And it's not because of how we look. It's not because of what we sound like. It doesn't come from what we do. It is literally because we were created in his image. And when you realize that, it changes how you walk and how you talk and how you even do life. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing to feed into is that hey, he made me. I look at a sunrise. He made that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
God is amazing. Yes. And he made my body. The fact that I can even birth a human, it's amazing. I can't even so when we were having my oldest, we had a midwife, and she was so gracious enough to actually video the birth, which was really cool.
Wow, yeah.
Because I can actually go back and look at it. And sometimes I do, because I'm just like, how did that happen again? And every time I'm like, this is amazing. A whole baby came out of me, and I just, how, So that's probably one of the main things that I think about.
That's okay. So I have to tell this because I was gonna wait, but now I have to say it because this is perfect timing.
Yes.
Me getting back into physical fitness, a lot of the credit goes to you. Oh. And I don't know if you remember this conversation and I talked to you about this before, this conversation you and I had. You called me, I think you were out shopping or something. Oh. And I don't even know how we got on the conversation of postpartum and me feeling blah, because I was way more overweight than I'd ever been in my life. But like you said, I grew a human.
Yes, you did.
And so I was like, I just don't feel myself. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I just feel so overweight, and I just don't know if I can go back into, and you said this, I remember you said, no, Reba, no. Yeah. And then you started telling me about some YouTube videos that you were working out to, and I picked it up, and at the time I didn't have a treadmill, so that was all I was doing. Yeah. And I started seeing the weight drop. Yeah. And so I'm just like, you already knew who you were. Psalms 139 was written on your forehead. And you were like, and if any other mom thinks that they can't do it. I mean, you didn't say that, but that's what I'm what I felt when you were like, no. Yeah. This is not what you're going to do. We're not going to let you just sit down.
Right.
And eat buns. And let yourself become, and it's not even, I'm not even talking about the way how we look.
Right.
Because we know that it also helps us feel great.
Right, exactly.
And so I feel like you were just like, nope, no. Yeah. But I remember your words were so strong. You were like, no, Reba. So I just have to say thank you.
And I'm so glad.
I'm protect her confidence, Lord.
Thank you. No, I really thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, because I'm, it doesn't mean that I haven't had my own struggles, obviously, even with believing that myself, because it's there's nothing that I can say that would help somebody necessarily. They have to receive it and accept. And, because these are the Lord's words, he's the one who's given us this. And it's not to walk around in a sense of being, arrogant or prideful, we're better than somebody somebody
Oh, no,
or,
no.
you know,
Yeah.
like degrading ourselves like we're lower than somebody. It's not like about that. We're all made in his image. And so that's where that confidence comes from. And then I'd also say, like, you know, it really matters. It's very important, like what you're putting into your body besides just what you're eating. What are you feeding yourself through what you watch and what you hear? You know, like for me, it's simple to like, you know, look at somebody and be like, oh, you know, I want to look like that, or I feel like that's the direction I want to go. And when I started initially, I feel like even some of the YouTubers that I was watching, you know, I'm like, why am I watching them? They haven't had a baby. They don't even know. Like, why am I trying to obtain this? And this is not really for me. And it's causing me to sin, actually. Like, now I'm coveting or I'm idolizing, and that's not good. So I really had to back up out of that, really had to like ask the Lord to change my heart there and to redirect me. And then it more so became like, Kim, focus on yourself, focus on what you can do for yourself, and just, you know, be in competition with yourself. And then I started to see a lot of change in the direction that I was hoping for. And it, you know, ended up being much, much better.
Yeah. So you were talking about what we're consuming. So I'm going to...
It's fun.
Self-control. I remember you would show me pictures of meals that you made for your family.
Oh, yeah.
And I would be talking about coveting. I would be like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. Like, I don't know if I can make that. And I would like try and go and I'm like, yep, and I give up.
Oh no.
But we've all heard the phrase, you can't outwork a bad diet. What has helped you and your family to stay consistent with making meals?
I would say for the most part, really just looking at the results of eating a healthy, like, you know, diet for the most part. Now, don't get me wrong. I like some junk every once in a while. That's like, I would be lying if I said that I don't eat anything, you know, junky every once in a while. But I treat it more as like a treat rather than like my norm. And then plus just encouraging, like, I feel like with how I grew up, my mom was always very adamant about like, you get a meat, you get a starch, and you get like a green veggie. You know, she was very adamant about like our dinner and our food kind of encompassing more than just like one main thing. And so as I, you know, got into being a mom and cooking and really just enjoying that, I was like, I wonder if I can, you know, make something of that myself, you know? And then, man, I love going into the grocery store and just looking at all the produce. It's so beautiful. And I don't recall, like, when I was younger, I didn't eat asparagus or anything like that. But man, when I was like, I'm a mom, we're gonna eat some asparagus. We're gonna do it. You know, we're gonna try it out. We're gonna try all the colors, you know, and that kind of thing. So just being excited about that and seeing the really positive results. My kids are very healthy. You know, our family's very healthy. We're very health conscious. We don't go overboard, and we really try to stay in the realm of like not idolizing it, because I mean, you know, just because you eat all healthy doesn't necessarily mean you won't ever have any health problems or deal with you know, some struggles, of course. But that's definitely been a really big motivator for me to make sure our family's eating really, really well.
When you said the results, oh my gosh, I can so tell when I have just been lazy.
Me too.
And I try to go and work out. Ooh,
it's not the same.
You can tell
it's not the same.
Too much of whatever, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, okay. And then I go back and I'm consistent. And then you have one of those mom weeks.
Oh yes,
where everybody is like not feeling well, or you know, just life in general, and then you're eating all the wrong things, and then you go back to your normal routine. And you're trying to work out, just like, and it's a struggle. I was thinking that this morning, because I went to go work out this morning, and I was like, I'm just rowing. Why does this feel so? I'm putting in so much work.
Right. Like, why is this so much effort for me to just row? Like, that's a lie. Man, I don't remember who said it. I had watched something and they had said that, like, it's very, you're communicating what you want your body to do by what you put in it. So, like, for example, if I eat a whole bunch of, like, Brussels sprouts, I know that's going to bother my stomach. but Brussels sprouts are good for me, right? But it's like I'm basically telling myself like, hey, you're gonna have a bad time processing this if you eat that. So I don't know, maybe I need to eat an enzyme or choose a different vegetable or something. But like if I eat a whole bunch of or have a whole bunch of caffeine, like I know my brain is just gonna like, it's gonna kind of go a little crazy.
That is so good. You're communicating to your body.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We're talking to it all the time, telling it things.
Even when we're not like, when we're speaking out loud, like it's so true. Life and death are the power of the tongue.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. You are like preaching to me. I don't know how to do that stuff, but that's so good. Okay. I can go off.
No.
Okay. So I interviewed my sister-in-law a few weeks ago.
Yes.
And she was telling me how she became active was watching her parents work out. And when she was younger, she would see them I think she said she would watch them out her window. I can't remember how she said verbatim, but she would see them running up their little 2-story home.
Oh, nice.
And she said, it's you be kind of like any child growing up. You behave how you were raised. And so she was very active. I think she said she walks now.
Oh, good.
And so are you seeing that with your daughters through your lifestyle choices?
Yeah, I definitely feel like they watch us and are intentional about being active. We also are like just kind of like an active family. So we're much about like going out to the parks and letting them run around. We'll chase them. We'll engage with them, and all the movement. Even sometimes when they're at home, maybe there's a cute little YouTube. They have this princess exercises, and they love to do princess exercises. They'll go put on their little dresses, and they're doing things like curtsying and bowing and, like those little princess moves. It's so cute.
That's so cool.
It's really fun. They really like it.
I love that.
Yeah. Those are some little things that we do.
Because a curtsy lunge is hard.
It is very hard. I was just doing those yesterday, and I was like, man, I'm sore. Yeah.
I cheated this morning. Because we were supposed to do curtsy lunges.
Yeah.
Casey, I love you. But that was my trainer. And she was like, if you can't do lunges, do regular lunges. I did squats.
Oh, hey, you know what? I still bent my knees, so that counts for something.
Yes. Because I was like, this curtsy lunge. How did do they still do that?
I think so. Well, I mean, I have a workout program that I follow, and they have it, and I don't think they call it a curtsy lunge. I think they call it like a lateral lunge, but I'm like, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same, but they still do it.
My goodness.
They still do it.
I'm trying.
It works.
It
hurts. It works because it hurts. That's why.
I hate lunges.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah. We're on the same page there. I literally haven't done lunges in I want to say maybe a year. And just recently I started doing lunges because I hate them that much. So we're on the same page.
Yes. So you do work out.
Yes.
Do you have your tribe, your people to hold you accountable?
It's not really in the same way that I feel like many people do. So maybe people go have a group that they run together with.
Yeah.
Or they'll go to the gym together with. I'm a weirdo. I like to go work out by myself because I'm just I just focus so I can get it done and then go away. But I can get it done and just leave.
Yeah.
But I'm in a different lights. I feel like my mom and my sisters kind of hold me accountable in a very indirect way, and more so about we'll share with each other what healthy things maybe we're doing or what vitamins or supplements we've been using that we've seen some really good benefits from. And they might just mention, I went on a walk this morning. And I'm like, that's good. I probably should go walking, and just something to kind of keep me moving. But I feel like I garner a lot of it from my mom and my sisters. And then too, my husband, we've tried to work out together and it does not work.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yes.
Because he will encourage me, be like, I see, your biceps looking strong today, or he'll say things like that. And that definitely is very encouraging.
Aww,
so, it does keep me motivated to go and work out. So I guess he's my tribe sort of more at home.
I love that.
Yeah.
I have a friend and she and her husband, they don't work out together all the time. But every once in a while, if she can't make it to her workout routine or whatever, she'll go with him.
Oh, nice.
And she said it's like a whole different thing. Like he's pushing her, but like you said, it's nice, you know, because it's something different. And it's like, you can make it like a date night. Because I have friends who like run and like, because life, they'll make running or working out together their date night.
That's sweet.
Yeah. But she was telling me, she said, I love it, but sometimes, oh my gosh, he pushes me.
Yeah, I think that's a guy thing maybe, but he definitely, that's why I don't work out with him, because I'd be like, no, I need you to help me, like spot me, like I need you to help me. And he's like, no, you can get it. And I'm like, no, I'm telling you I cannot. Yes. I need you to really help me. And so I learned, I'm like, it's okay. We'll just work on opposites.
If you haven't worked out in a while, does your husband tell you to go work out? Not in a way,
like I'm the weird one in the family where I'm pretty consistent. So like I might just say like, oh, I haven't gone to work out in a while, and he'll be like, oh, okay, well I know you'll get back into it, because that's just I usually motivate myself. So I don't know why that is like that, but I feel like he was the one mostly like looking at me and then being like, I need to go work out. Like he was like, she's been to the gym consistently. Like, I need to go.
The competitiveness.
But that's that inner competitiveness. And I'm like sitting over here minding my own business. Right. Like, and he's like, I need to go work out, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's funny. When I haven't run, he's so sweet. He'll be like, Caleb will say, go for a run. Go have fun.
Nice. Yeah. Fun.
And
yes.
And like
it was fun.
I used to, I haven't been able to in a really long time, but join a running group on during the week.
Yeah.
And if he's able to make it home in time for me to go, he'll be like, are you going to go? And I'm like, no, why not? Go have fun, go run. I'm like, okay.
I love that. That's
I know.
good. That's like the sweet encouragement, you know, and the good motivation.
Yes.
I don't, my husband has never been like you need to go.
Oh, no.
He's never made me feel like I've ever looked anything like bad or poorly, you know. He's always been very supportive of me, which is really great. So I'd love to hear that, you know, just like go have fun. Like, yes, I will go have some fun. I will.
Yes. It's so and I don't know why it gives you that little oomph when your husband is like, go work out. Or if I love when I'm on the treadmill upstairs and he is downstairs and I'm running or something, and I'm like, because girl, when I'm on the trailer, I'm loud.
Oh no.
And so I'm like, okay, one more. You got.
Oh, you talk to yourself.
I sure do.
I love it.
I sure do. Nice. Because and Caleb was like, you got it, babe. You got it, babe. And so I'm just like, okay, if he says I could do it,
yes, you could do it. You got it. I love that. I love the support and the motivation.
Yeah,
it's sweet.
I don't know. It just changes something, because it's like, you know, my husband is my best friend.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure your husband is your best friend.
Absolutely.
And so you know how even when you're in high school and I was homeschooled, but I have my best friend. We're still best friends today. So if she were to be like, you know, go Reba, I'm like, Noemi said I could do it. I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. It changes something. It like does. I call her my running best friend. And anytime she's like, she's a tough cookie.
Oh, really?
So we were talking about like how her husband pushes her, and like your husband pushes you.
Yeah.
And if I'm like, I can't, she's like, yes, you can.
Ooh,
and I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes, I will right now.
But afterwards, you feel so great.
Yeah, you do. I do feel good after I've come from the gym. And I mean, maybe more so like he'll say, like if I'm kind of drained or whatnot, or I feel like I've had a long day, you know, he might be more like, oh yeah, have you worked out today? Like, because he knows I do get energized from that. So he might be like, oh, have you worked out? I'm like, you know what? I haven't, you know, and that is maybe feeding into some of this like, so yeah, definitely.
It's so true. You can definitely tell when you have not worked out. And I'm like, whenever I'm posting on Instagram and I'm just like, come on, moms. Yeah. You know, just get some movement in.
Right.
If it's me, we're not asking anyone to be an Olympian.
Right. No, absolutely not.
Because that's not everybody's gift.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And just get some movement, because your body will thank you. It will thank you.
Yeah. And it's really great. So.
And I love asking my guests this question because I love hearing the different responses. Can you tell us the importance of surrounding like-minded moms? Yeah. Surrounding yourself with like-minded moms.
Yeah. Definitely it's super important. Because like just having that encouragement to kind of like keep going, especially when you don't want to keep going.
Yeah.
That has been really a huge help for me. And also like the creativity that comes from like different ways of working out. Even when you have your children around, like maybe I'm picking my kid up and like, not now because they're too heavy, but when they're babies, it's like, 1, 2, 3. And I'm using them as like my bicep, curl or something like that. Things like that. So the creativity flowing around really can help. And then just the encouragement that comes, like, because moms, I feel like we understand it's not the same when you like try to go and exercise when you have little people around you all day. They're constantly vying for your attention. And like, it's something that I feel like you can easily get down on yourself because you're like, oh, I didn't get to go work out as long as I wanted or as much as I wanted. Or I feel like I didn't complete my sets the way that I wanted to, but just having that other mom encouragement that's like, hey, you are taking care of kids and you're trying to work out and you're trying to like give yourself some time as well. So I feel like those reminders are just so like helpful.
Moms, do you hear this? It's okay.
It's okay.
That's something that I still struggle with because I have a plan, and if I don't, let's say my plan has 7 miles, and I can only do 5, right then and there, I'm like, okay. But the rest of the day, sometimes I'm just like, I could have 2 more miles. I could have just done, but like you said, it's okay.
It's okay
because we're not Olympians, you know. I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't moms who can, but I'm just saying like there's a different lifestyle for each person, right? And like you have 2 beautiful children. I have 1 child. And so it's going to look different for us because you got a little bit more, and so it's okay. And so this you're preaching to me too because I'm not able to get something today because the weather. No,
the weather. Let's blame this weather. It's raining on the side.
What is your inspiration?
Oh my goodness. I would say that like just my inspiration is when I see other moms like really doing it, that definitely encourages me. I love to see people just, glorifying God and pushing past maybe some of the, things that they thought they couldn't do. And it's like, wait a minute, I did that. Like even how you're saying before, like, oh, I was supposed to run 7 miles and, I only ran 5. Like, no, I ran 5 miles. See? And I've got a kid and I've got a husband and I'm like,
she preaching.
But it's like, that's amazing. And just like that inspires me when I see like, what was it? I want to say it was maybe last year. I was at the gym and I saw this other mother in there. She was like pregnant, had the full baby bump and was in there doing some like arm curls. I was like, you go, mom. Like that's just so encouraging to see, and I'm just like, that's amazing. Like I love to see other mothers who are just, really killing it and, that just have this direction that's pointed towards like glorifying God with whatever it is that they're doing, whether it's working out, whether it's like eating right, whether it's like how they take care of their family. I think those are all like things that definitely inspire me.
That's so good. There's this lady at the gym where I work out. She's due next month.
Oh, wow.
If you saw, she's stronger than me. And every time I see her come in, I'm just like, you amaze me. Like, I've told her a few times, I know I have. She's probably annoyed, but like, it just blows my mind.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, she does inspire me. Yeah, she really does. Because I'm like, okay, she's carrying another human being. And Reba, you can get out of bed. Yeah. And you can come work out. And so I have a lot of inspiration, a lot of things and people who inspire me, but she is one of them. And so I get it. Like seeing other moms. It's so like, I love when I work out with moms because like you said, they get it.
They do.
There was some friends from church and I wasn't there, but she talked about it on her social media page. And she was saying that they were working out and her daughter kept crying.
Yeah.
And her mom friend was working out next to her and she stopped working out and just played with the daughter while she let her finish her set.
That's so sweet.
And it's like you said, we get it.
Yeah.
Like
that's really nice.
It's so true that, Kim, she's had a rough week. Yeah. So I'm going to get down and play with her girls, So it's just like.
I can take it on. It's okay.
Yes. So what does it mean glorifying God in your body? Because I heard you say that. What does that mean to you?
Yeah. So I feel like a lot of times when I've heard it, people kind of more so make it like one dimensional, like, oh, well, I, shouldn't wear certain clothes, because that wouldn't be glorifying God in my body. But it also has a lot to do with what you think, the intangibles. And I was like, it just seems more dimensional to me in that statement. So like glorifying God in your body is like glorifying him, not only with what people can see, but also like what you think about others, what you think about yourself, what you think about God and his character, because he sees all of this. Like for us, we don't see, other people and how they might think and do and whatnot. But you're not glorifying God in your body if you're lying about somebody or if you're slandering them, if you're speaking down about them or gossiping about them. You're not glorifying God in your body if you are, hiding things or stealing. Like those are all things that encompass glorifying God in your body because they exist in your person. So I think people should think more about that and take it more seriously.
No, that's so good because it does, believe it or not, and I don't understand the science behind it, so I'm not even going to pretend like I do, but I know spiritually that it can affect your body.
Absolutely.
It's so true. I was listening to another lady that I interviewed, and she had somebody that she was interviewing, or she was doing like an Instagram live, and she said, if your motives are not good when you're working out, like for the reasons why you're working out, you're not going to see great results.
You won't. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a really
I
good
was like,
point.
okay, I'm throwing away all my workout gear and I'm going to rethink my motives.
Yes. It's important though. That's really good. I don't think people think about that. Like, and it's not wrong to like want to be healthy and to look a certain way, I don't feel like, but when it's coming from a bad place, like I just want to cause other people to be jealous of me or to stumble. Like that's not a good motive and that's not glorifying God at all.
Right.
So we definitely should check that.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so there's this runner, I don't even know. I think he still runs, but he used to be a pro runner.
Oh.
And he talks about how when he was competing, he would pray for his opponents.
That's really sweet.
And I'm not great at it, but I'm like, it definitely changes how you feel if you don't place. Like I don't place races often. Like I try to do the small ones if I can, because if I think I can place. But if somebody else places before me, I'm like, that's awesome. Like I have this one friend, really I call her the humble runner.
Aww.
Because let's say that I'm a mile ahead of her, and let's just say I'm a mile ahead of her. All of a sudden, I'll hear breathing behind me.
Yeah.
And she'll like pass me. But it's a healthy competition.
Yes. Yeah.
But you don't understand how happy I am to see her do that.
That's great.
I'm like you said, you really have to, oh my goodness.
It's like spurring each other on in like good ways, which is always great.
I love that.
That's wonderful. Yay.
Okay, what inspirational or encouraging word would you give to stay-at-home mom? Because you're a stay-at-home mom.
Yes.
Who are feeling depressed and they don't feel like they can do anything because they're feeling overwhelmed. Because I'm a stay-at-home mom, and sometimes it like you think, okay, all I have to do is just fold the clothes, and then you see something else, and then you see something else, and you're like, how in the world am I going to get a workout in today?
Right.
Can I do this?
Yeah.
And I will say, if I don't get a workout in, then I will feel depressed. But what encouraging word would you give to those moms, to stay-at-home moms?
Yeah. I would say that like you would probably, or not probably, start with prayer, start with praying and asking God, well, telling him what's on your mind.
Yeah.
Lord, I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I am pouring myself out and I don't feel like I have time to, do simple workouts or just work out at all. Can you show me, even if you're not motivated, Lord, can you help motivate me?
Yes.
Can you help give me that motivation? Because like, I think we don't ask for these things because we don't go to him. We don't think about him first. And it's like, God's like, he's there. He's ready and waiting to like, just ask for some stuff,
Yeah.
And ask and believe that you will receive it. Like ask and believe that he's going to respond, because he will. Like I remember like just asking for time in the day, like, Lord, I really feel like every time I try to figure out where to work out, something happens where the daycare is no longer available and they're shutting it down, and then I can't work out anymore. Can you just help me? And I just he showed me a rec center that it's the only one in Fort Worth, but it has a daycare, and the lady there is a Christian, and it's really great. And I was just like, this is perfect. Like, this works, you know? And even when maybe their daycare is shut down for a day because they're having like some kind of issues like with the building or whatnot, then my husband has been gracious enough. He works out at a spot where they can they have a daycare as well, and they're right down the street. So he'll take our daughter, and then I can go work out at a different facility, and it still works, you know? So I would say, like, ask the Lord to show you where you can have the time. Ask him to give you the time, because like he will answer that prayer. I believe
it's so
he
true.
Will. Yeah.
Knock and you, what is it?
Say again.
the scripture, like, knock and the door shall be open.
Yes.
Asking
absolutely.
You shall receive.
You shall receive.
It's so true.
You got to be knocking and asking.
Yeah.
Like, you got to do it.
I remember I went to go see a friend of mine run a marathon, and there was this couple there.
Mm-hmm.
So the wife was a spectator. So she and I were spectators.
Yeah.
So her husband was running, and I don't even know how we got into the conversation, but I was like, sometimes when I'm like frustrated, I'm like, Lord, please just help me with this run. And she said, it's true. You have to ask God to go on a run with you. And so she said, I always tell him, go on a run, ask the Lord to go on the run with you.
Yeah, that's really great.
Listen, I don't do it all the time because of my brain, you know.
Yeah.
But when I do,
yeah, it's like
it's a game changer.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I can honestly remember the times, like, if I'm thinking about like a run, I'm like, that was the day I asked the Lord, because that was so much fun, you know. But if I'm all into my like structured, okay, I got to do this, and this, and I just go. Yeah. I'm not saying that it's a bad run, right? But it could be better, you know. Yeah. Because He wants to give.
Yes,
it says in Psalms, His goodness chases after us.
Ooh, that's good.
And so He's ready,
chasing. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And He's like any. Because of course He came into human form. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but like any person, like your child, they don't just grab.
Absolutely.
They have to do what? They have to ask first. And so the Lord's like, and because He is kind, He will give sometimes without us asking, but He's like, just ask me.
Yeah. Just
ask me, especially like when we're having a hard time. And what you said, asking Him for time. Yeah. I often think about my mom. When my parents they had a church and a school, I used to think when I was a teenager, because when you're little, you're not thinking about this, but when I was a teenager, I was like, how in the world did my mom, how does she do all that?
Yeah.
And every morning she would get up and she would start her day off with prayer.
Oh, that's really good.
And as I got older, I thought about it and I was like, oh, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and these things will be added to you. The first thing she would do was seek Him. And He was like, okay, well, here's grace here's time.
Yes.
You know, because she would wake up in the morning. They had 8 kids. She would come home. She had her own private school, feed us dinner, do homework, and then whatever teachers have to do, because I don't like, you know, and still have time for all of that. So you're still like, but you are reminding me to ask Him to go on the workouts with me, ask Him to go on those runs with me, because they're just so much more fun.
They are. You know, He wants us to ask, you know, and that's part of like just having a relationship with Him, you know, like just like how you would ask like a friend, like, hey, come on this run with me. You know, like that is how I believe like we should be doing it. And that's really good. You know, that's really great. I like that.
Yes. Well, Kim, before we jump off, I have some fun questions. Yay. Okay. Cool. What's one of your favorite meals to make for your family?
Ooh, favorite meals to make for the family. I think probably because it's the simplest, but just salmon and asparagus, like a big slab of good salmon and just some asparagus. It's so good. And it's so easy to make for, you know, like everyone eats it. Everyone will eat it. And maybe that's why it's my favorite. Right. Like everyone will eat it. It's hard making like food for all like 4 different palettes. But that's a good one.
Where do you get your semen?
Okay, so I try to go to like Sprouts as of late to get it because I try to get like the wild caught. And then also HEB has a really good center cut salmon that I like.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of those 2 places is usually where I'm gonna go to probably.
I am so scared of making salmon.
Why? It's gonna be good. You'll like it. It's good.
I love salmon, but we made it one time and
that one time
and everybody got sick.
Oh no.
So ever since then, like I still eat it. Like I'm not one of those who are just like, oh, I got sick from eating that.
I'm sushi that day. It's okay.
Yeah, girl, give me some sushi. I'm just scared to eat it. I mean, I'm not sorry. I'm scared to cook it because of that one time. And so now if I want it,
you're just like,
I go somewhere and then
somebody else to make
I'll
it.
make vegetables.
There you go.
I'm not afraid of those.
You should try it again. Try it again and then let me know how it goes. You try it again.
I'm so scared. I don't want to be sick.
You'll be good. You'll be good. You learned from the last time.
Okay.
So,
it comes out burnt the next time.
Girl, stop. You're like, it was
eat
over.
this.
And then the 3rd time, it's like right the sweet spot. That's funny. That's
so
great.
one thing that I totally love about you and your husband is that you still travel.
Yeah.
So what is one of your favorite where has been one of your favorite places that you've traveled?
Oh, man, we went to San Francisco.
Ooh.
What was it? 2 years ago for our 10-year anniversary, I believe. No. Maybe that was Vegas. I can't remember. But San Francisco was like my favorite because while we were there, we got to go to the redwood forest and see these ridiculous, huge trees. I mean, we felt like little tiny ants out there. It was so, so beautiful.
Wow.
And I mean, it was like quiet, which was weird because I don't know, for some reason, whenever I like would see pictures of that kind of thing, I just assumed you'd hear animals and birds chirping and just rustling in the bushes.
Yeah.
It's really quiet, very serene. My husband thought I was crazy because he was like, you want to go to San Francisco and you want to go look at trees? I was like, babe, these trees are gargantuan. They're so big.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until he saw the first big tree, he was like, whoa, I get it. Yeah. So that was really special. And then we traveled out to Napa and just we visited a one of the only Black wineries out there.
Yeah.
Or they had like a wine tasting, and so that was cool. And we got to do mud baths. Yeah, in Saratoga, I think is what it's called.
I'm like taking notes.
Yes, yeah. That was fun. Like I've always wanted to. We watched Suits, and one of the characters, Louis Litt, he's always talking about his little mud baths, and I was like, man, I want to find a mud bath. And so that was out there. So yeah, we did that, and it was a lot of fun. So,
oh my goodness! Yeah. I hope my husband, are you listening?
You're like, take notes.
Yes,
take notes. Mud baths.
Yes, I love that.
It was fun. It was really fun. Yeah.
Okay, so we mentioned lunges earlier. Is that your least favorite exercise, or is there another one?
Okay, let's see. No, I think lunges that's probably gonna be the least favorite. I really hate those.
So on a scale of 1 to 10.
10.
Oh,
like hate? Okay, I was like, if it's hate, it's 10.
Burpees?
Ooh, you know what? Those are worse.
Listen, yeah.
Yeah, no, burpees, that's like a jumping lunge. Oh, gosh, that's even worse. Okay, so burpees. They
take the cake?
Yeah. Then you have to like jump and then get like, was it plank sort of? And,
yes. Yeah. So I can do like 5.
Okay.
And
that's
then
probably more than me.
I'm like, okay, let me do the walk down.
There you go.
Walk down burpee.
Like a modified burpee version of this. Yeah.
I do burpees. I would have to say with you. Because lunges is like, okay.
Yeah.
It's so crazy because I run, but when it comes to like cardio exercise, like jumping jacks, I hate them.
Yeah. I don't think I like things that I have to jump with.
Yeah.
I think that's like just not a favorite thing of mine. I'll do them, but have you ever done like a jump lunge? Those are not fun. Yeah. So any version, I think, of things like I have to jump. I don't want to jump. I know that sounds weird, but I don't want to jump.
I am with you. I used to. There was this girl at my mom's school. Mm-hmm. She said, "I hate doing jumping jacks because my brain moves."
Oh no! She's like, I can feel it. I can feel it moving up and down with like my head, and it's just
I'm gonna start telling my trainer that.
Like yes, like don't have me do that. I don't want my brain. I want my brain to stay where it is.
Exactly where it is.
Right where it is.
Okay, I'm being so silly.
That's hilarious.
Well, you mentioned your blog earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I didn't mention was that you're an author.
Oh, yes. I forgot to write.
Yes. So where can we find your blog and website for your book?
Awesome. Yes. So it is officiallykim.com. That is the blog. And then I also have a blog for my book. It's called Mama Braids. And it's, it's written by me. It was like a poem, but the artwork is actually Michelle Lee, who is I think she still lives in Arlington, but she's an art teacher in Dallas, and she's done some really beautiful work. So all of the pictures are hand drawn, and it's a really, sweet, short, simple little story, and it's really great. So mamabraids.com and then officiallykim.com is where my blog is. And I talk about all the food, fun, and fashion. That's what my main theme is there. So
I probably shouldn't have read her blog, or of course I didn't read everything, but when I was in bed, because I was like, man, she's so good with words. I read your book. Yes, you got it. I read it to my daughter.
Yes,
so
I'm so glad.
Kim, thank you so much for coming on this rainy Thursday.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you. You are so much fun, and we will have you back.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed it.
Yes. Bye, Moms.
Bye.